I'm saying we made millions of dollars. I've done amazing accomplishments in this game.
Correct.
You haven't done shit yet. Hold on. But I'm going to bring that point. So for you to bring up something that I was a part of that you said got fucked up in the end, why don't you build something to see if you could even maintain it?
Tell me, is it facts or opinions? You be the judge.
You'll have to decide. You'll have to decide. You'll have to decide.
Welcome to another Facts or Opinion where everybody's got a fact and everybody's got an opinion. Man, I appreciate everybody rocking with me, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all comment, subscribe. Man, I got one for y'all, man. This is crazy. And y'all got to tell me what y'all think about this. Now, Benzino, all right? Everybody know Benzino was basically one of the founders during that time, doing magazines and stuff, having the source, doing the stuff that he was doing, far as doing interviews, all this stuff. And also, so he got interviewed by this podcaster called Dookie Chain, Big Dookie Chain, shout out to them. But the guy was like too much over pushing the whole issue, like he was a fan of the magazine, and he basically said Benzino kind of like let the culture down and let him down because how he handled the magazine, you know, the whole notorious story about with Eminem and the mics, and he didn't want to give Eminem mics, and people, you know, got mad, and he said, hey man, this was my damn magazine. I could do what I want to do. So y'all got to hear this. And this guy had the nerve to say he was more hip hop than Benzino. Y'all got to check this out because I don't know where this guy came from.
Yeah. Like, if you get to feel that, that's something that these motherfuckers will never feel. Like, that is the most. So Dave got to feel it through us, man. And I'm telling you, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. See, that's the whole thing. It just wasn't like Dave's here to the hip. Yeah. No, even the bad, like the ill side of hip hop. Yeah. Because these are street guys. These are guys that come from nothing, and not only they make music, but they have lives that are going to court. They're going, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of, and Dave's a part of all that. Yeah. That's what made the source special, and because he got that lens.
And it literally is the hip-hop Bible, so being like a white kid from the suburbs who at that time especially is not...
Does that make Dave Jesus, hip-hop Jesus?
well, no, it makes him like the hip-hop Walter Cronkite. It makes him like who's like a fucking writer that like is the first person who wrote about something that like Upton Sinclair, The Jungle. Like,
Howard Cosell for sports?
Exposed like a whole fucking...
I met his son, the Cosell dude.
Let's knock it off track. The fucking... What's crazy about it though is like at the same time, like hip hop is not big at all yet. Like no one really fucks with hip hop. No. So like at any time, if you're from right here, right, South Weymouth at 94. There's no way to get hip hop. You can't find it anywhere. It doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? There's no train to get to Boston to get the shit. The Source comes out once a month. Yeah, that's the only. It was Rap Beat, which does not count, you know what I'm saying? And it was The Source. That was it. The Source came out, and you fucking read every single word in The Source. Out of this game and respects the fuck out of The Source. It's like blows my fucking mind that like, and I want you to know like that's a fuck up on your part right there because like
how?
Because like that you didn't respect it, like that you didn't know what it was.
I will let me give you the rebuttal. Let me give you the rebuttal.
Okay.
Let me give you the rebuttal on that because it's like I was it. See that? Let me finish. I was it. It didn't. It's not like I didn't respect what Dave was doing in the art of hip hop as a whole because I was a DJ. I loved hip hop, but at that particular time, because life's about moments, man. Yep. At that moment, I was really, really involved with my group. I mean, killings. I mean, there was a lot of shit going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? So. I couldn't really focus in on stuff like that. Now, mind you, let's say The Source never came out. Me and Jeff are still doing hip hop and DJ thing. You're not gonna know nothing about it unless you see Fab Five Freddy. So I'm still involved in it regardless because I'm actively living it. Because The Source came out, that doesn't have to be put because now it's The Source and some white guys are writing about it. I have to respect it.
No, you're missing it. You're missing my point. So I want to put the conversation. I want to start this conversation over and put it in context. Okay? Because you're arguing a different. I agree with all this. You're a hip hop fan. hip hop lover, hip hop historian, hip hop nerd, all that shit. Just like
Now
that.
you're saying.
Now, and you're growing up, all that. Did you give a fuck about hip hop or
No,
not?
man, it's not. It's different. I'm telling you. See, you put it on how you feel. The way I'm telling you how I feel about hip hop. I'm telling you how I felt. Hip hop. I fell in love with hip hop. Yes, fan. But because I was in the streets and dealing with street activities, and it was so intertwined with it. My outlook on that shit is way different than how you're looking at it. It's just honestly, and I hear you. I hear the passion, and I see how you are looking at it. But your lens.
It's a
Tash,
different lens.
It's way different from me. You
And
know
I know
what I'm saying,
that.
in hip hop.
So time is like it was everything, right? And then at some point in time, which we'll get to, it turned to like the source. No matter
what time did it turn?
I don't want to get to that yet. We'll get to it because I don't want.
But you're bringing it up.
Well, because I'm trying to let you know how important. I'm trying because you don't know the context of like the million. So you guys sold 50 million copies of your.
Right.
I'm trying to show you the perspective of your reader.
No, well, but
I was your fan base.
Right. But
I
again,
was your target audience.
But again, now that you know how I am with it, then you know that don't really 100% matter to me. And no disrespect. Hold on. But if you know that, just like I have to respect you being that way, you got to respect me doing that. You can't force that on me.
I ain't forcing it. No.
You can't force that on me.
And I do. I'm just trying to put in perspective of like how important the source was.
Your perspective.
Not my perspective. For the growth of hip hop, for what it like, for how big of hip hop.
And it did that. And I was a part of that.
I'm saying, but like, so the source at one point in time, and you are. That's why I respect what you do.
I
this whole
but
conversation.
where does it go? Where does it go?
Yeah,
I'm still trying to figure out what's the.
Me too.
At one point in time, every single word in the hit source was gospel
To you.
To you. Time out. Not just me. To like a lot of hip hop.
Okay.
Not just maybe not to you.
Great.
But I'm talking about. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about hip hop in general.
Right.
The fan base and growing fan base of hip hop.
Got you.
In general.
A lot of white guys.
Of course, a lot
and
of white
black guys.
Yep, but
everybody.
Of course. I'm talking about all. I'm talking about hip hop. When hip hop went from like an inner city thing to like the next stage of. It wasn't global yet, but it was getting to glable.
International. National. I'm sorry.
You guys made it like national to glable. Like, and the MTV helped that obviously. When
I'm listening.
Boom, boom, boom. So I'm talking about me because I'm like.
Well, kind of. You got.
Well, no. I'm talking about the generalized. Yeah, but I'm that hip hop audience. And you guys are buying that.
So
magazine.
it's you.
Yeah, it's representative.
I was subscribed to Source, so I was.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
I was. Yeah.
But get to the point.
The point is, at one point, that the respect of it in like the way like I'm trying to think of the word the integrity of it.
Okay, integrity
got fucked with.
Okay,
and people stopped taking it as the Bible. Right. And in someone who loves hip hop, right? That is like it bothers me a little bit because the source could be Time magazine.
If that bothers you, you got to check. You got to look at yourself like, damn, like how does that bother you? Because mind you, integrity. What is integrity? The magazine business is made up of two things: your journalistic side that keeps the integrity and tries to uphold the integrity, right? The people that are writing it, we don't know them as a personal person to know how much integrity they have in their personal life. But I hear what you're saying. Through the source, you have to write with integrity. So because of the investment with the internet and source.com, I had nothing to do with that. But as far as integrity, I get it. Sometimes as fans, y'all got to realize what y'all put in y'all's head isn't what the reality of what we're doing. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? But it's the same thing with Eminem fans. They get too much. It's the same thing to me. So the same thing that you're doing is the same how Eminem wears like, I'm mad because, no, you got to understand but if you don't understand the bigger picture,
I do.
How can you be upset if you don't understand the bigger picture?
Two things can be correct at the same time.
How?
How can two things be correct?
No, I'm saying how could you be mad if you don't know the bigger picture?
I do understand the bigger picture, but what I'm saying is the importance of what it is in the bigger picture is a balance of all these things. And you have to you can't sit there and say one thing and not acknowledge the other. That's bullshit.
Explain it.
That's bullshit.
Explain it.
Because getting money is important, right? But also selling out is also not important. Hold on, let me finish now. All right, hold on, let me finish, right?
Where do we sell out?
Let me finish.
Tell me.
So you're talking about the integrity story. You're talking about the integrity story. I know this shit. I come on, man. Like let's
What do you mean?
No, hold on.
You're a fan.
You're talking about the integrity.
This is my magazine.
So let me ask you.
You're a fan of
it. I was absolutely
Right.
100%.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this then. I don't care about this. Even when that happened with the story, them putting the RSO in there.
That's fine.
Fuck that. Like even as like a rap.
No. You say fuck that. It don't. See,
I'll tell you.
it don't matter what you say to me.
I'm going to tell you what you're saying.
Just so we clear, what you say and how you feel means nothing to me.
Well, that's fine.
All right. So continue.
That's all fine.
Continue.
So that's not what it is.
What is it then?
It was when the mics, right? So do you think that the classic Unlimited? You think that was a
No. We already went through that story. That this was an Eminem situation. I did that because when it went on, that's my mag. I pulled my dick out and said, "This is my magazine, and I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, and I don't give a fuck how you or anybody else who buys the magazine feels." Because sometimes in life, you got to pull your dick out and show who the fuck the boss was. When I was beefing with Eminem, Jimmy Iovine and them, Ray Ray had a deal with Big Pun. He gave him half the money. When the beef happened, he dropped them. He didn't honor the deal. So Jimmy Iovine didn't honor the deal. He was Ray Ray was 9 years old. They had a group called 3 Down. Jimmy dropped them. For me to be defensive, I'm telling you that it's a business. I was on the business side of it. I was about getting the millions of dollars. Me and Dave. I understand you was a fan, and you was a white kid from Weymouth, and this shit really got you emotional. That's not how it does for me.
Yeah,
you got to understand that.
I do understand. That's why it's like
I hope you do.
We're going right to the source of the source for this.
Yeah,
and that's
that
like,
doesn't.
And this is the like.
See the lens of how white people look at hip hop is a much different lens from niggas that come out from the hood. Just understand that, bro. Like there's nothing you could say or do that's gonna change that. You know what I'm saying?
But there's people from the hood.
So when you get on your terror about how you feel, we respect it. But that shit's so fucking far from how the fuck we feel and how we grew up in it.
Do you think that no one from the hood doesn't have my perspective on the source?
No, do I think that nobody from the
because
hood,
you think that no one in the hood listens to Eminem, and we've had fucking. But 20
what does
people
it
come
matter?
in here and talk about Eminem.
But ask Benzino if I care about your perspective. Ask me. I need you to ask me that. Ask me if I care about all y'all's perspective.
I'm asking you right now.
Anybody,
as a
black,
human
white
being,
perspective.
do you care about my perspective?
No.
Well, thank you.
All right, that's it. But I still like you, but I don't.
But. Okay, I mean, like, and I don't agree with what you're saying.
That's fine.
I'm still going to ask.
I don't agree with your perspective. I don't care about your perspective. I understand that you're riled up and you're emotional.
I'm not riled up.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm not riled up at all. No. You're missing it, man. Like, and like you keep you always put the white thing out, the white perspective,
Yeah,
the white perspective. I'm hip hop. I didn't listen to the fucking Beastie Boys, bro.
Right. You didn't grow up how I grew up. Hip hop is black. But hip hop came from the streets of niggas. You not where you came from.
We're gonna have
not where you came from.
What does that have to do with the source?
That's everything.
What is you can't always. This is Shaq and Charles Barkley. This is Shaq and Charles Barkley.
Are you getting defensive?
No.
Are you getting defensive?
So every time Charles Barkley says anything, Shaq says, "You don't have rings. You don't got rings. You don't got rings."
You're one of these guys. You're one of these guys. He's mad. You're white. You feel like you're in hip hop.
There's one person here yelling, and it's not me.
You're not yelling. Of course you are.
No, I'm not, bro. We're talking.
You're not raising. Okay. So we talking once again. You're white.
So I know. So what does that do? I know I'm white.
You brought up. It's bothering you.
Aren't you half white?
It's bothering you. No. I'm Cape Verde, Puerto Rican.
I thought your father was white. I thought we was Italian. He was Italian.
No. His friends were all the Italian.
Oh, his friends Italian.
He's all loose. He don't know. He's excited today. He got his guys, his white guys, telling him, ask him this, ask him that.
Albie is the one texting me, actually.
So come on. Let's go. Let's keep going.
What does me being white have to do with my opinion?
Let me ask you what it does. Because remember when you first started, you was like, hey, I'm a white kid from Weymouth.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you painted that picture.
I am just as hip hop as all. Yes, I am. Yes, the fuck I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, bro.
See, that's your problem, and that's white people's problem.
That's white people's problem.
You are not as hip hop as me. Sorry.
Okay, well, this is
sorry.
I'm just trying.
You will never be.
So I'm
ever.
It's unfortunate.
It's not in you.
It's unfortunate that
it's not in you.
You can have that opinion. You're welcome to your opinions. You have them. Everyone knows that you have opinions. You're welcome to have them.
It's not in you.
But it's unfortunate to me, a hip hop fan and a fan of the source.
That's fine. You're a fan.
And a fan of what you've done for hip hop.
You're a fan.
I'm being honest.
I'm not a fan.
I'm looking you in the eye and being honest.
Who you looking at?
I'm looking you
You're
in the eye.
a fan.
Yes, of hip hop.
I'm not a fan
of hip hop.
I am hip hop. I'm not a fan. That's the difference. You're a fan, and I am hip hop.
It's unfortunate.
What's unfortunate
that you have that.
Do you agree? Do you agree on that? You're a fan.
No.
Well, you just said you're a fan.
I'm a fan and I'm hip hop. I can be both.
No, you're not hip hop.
Yes, I am.
No. The little white kid, 13-year-old that read the source. That's not hip hop, buddy.
It's unfortunate that you feel.
All right, tell me what y'all think about that. This guy really went left field. Like I said again, y'all tell me was Benzino wrong about that? I don't think he was wrong. I think what he did on the strength of, again, why do you feel like at 13 years old, you can claim something and then critique a man that had the vision to create it based off of his life story, not hip hop, but his life story growing up where we grew up at. And he had the audacity to sit there and critique the man about his shit. I mean, I don't know where we get this from. You gotta tell me what's going on, because this is crazy work. Holla at your boy. Peace.
Tell me, is it facts or opinions? You be the judge.
You'll have to decide. You'll have to decide. You'll have to decide.